Hi everyone, it's Tatiana, your NYC plant mama, and today we're going to talk about plant apps. If you are a plant parent in this day and age, it can definitely be a little overwhelming dealing with tens of 20s of hundreds. Some of you have hundreds of plants, I know. Especially if you're juggling work, family, friends, like kids, I don't know. You name it. Whatever else you're dealing with, it's a lot. If you're not using plant apps, your brain is much bigger than mine because I can barely keep track of what month or day we're in, let alone all of my plants, all of their names, when I should be watering them, when I last fertilized them. I'm already getting overwhelmed thinking about it. So apps can be really, really helpful to help you sort out your whole life, your whole plant life, I should say. There are so many plant apps out there, and I went ahead because I know you guys are busy and you know, what am I doing? I went out and tried all of the free plant apps, and here are my absolute favorites. Just FYI, I have an iPhone, so hopefully these apps are also available if you have Android or another phone. I don't know other operating systems, but these are available in the App Store for iPhone. So I broke up the plant apps by 3 categories: plant care / scheduling, water scheduling, plant identification, and outdoor gardening. Before I start, I want to say that these apps are a great resource. Okay, they're not gonna replace your plant care or your research 100%. I don't think you can rely on them completely. Really, they should be a supplemental resource to, you know, walking around, seeing what plants look dry and what you need to do to care for them, as well as the additional research that you do on what your plants need and the care that they need, the light requirements, the water requirements, etc. But plant apps are a really great starting off point if you're starting off early, or even if you are like me and you've been a plant mom for a little bit now and you just need to track and organize and really need a jumping off point before you dive deeper into your plant parenting. So I have my phone here and I'm just gonna be looking at the apps as I'm telling you guys, so I'm sorry if I'm looking down a lot. I don't really remember all of their names off the top of my head, so I want to look at them. Starting off with plant care and watering schedules, this is by far the largest category of plant apps that are available, especially in the free category, and I tried all of them. This judgment is based on my initial experience with the app as I was downloading it and setting up my profile, well, my plants profiles, as well as several days, weeks, or in some of the app's cases, months of using the app. So my top pick for this category of plant care and plant scheduling is Planta. Planta is very popular. I know a lot of you out there already use it. A lot of people in the plant community often talk about it or recommend it to one another. I try not to have too much bias here because this is the app that I was already using. It was the app that I kind of had settled on when I was getting my apps at first, and after reviewing everything, trying all the other apps, I'm glad this is the one I have because it is, in my opinion, the best one for this. Again, Planta is the main plant care app I use. So it already has all of my plant information in it. I have all of my plants listed within this app, and that's how I've been tracking my plants. What's great about Planta is it has a pretty robust database of plants, more than the other apps that I tried, and it seems to be adding new plants all the time, which is great. A lot of the other plant care apps I tried didn't even have a database at all. You had to manually enter the plant's name and your information on the plant that you had available, whereas Planta, you can search through the app, searching by name, common name, scientific name, or even by picture if you're just scrolling through their database, and find a lot of the plants that many of us have as houseplants. The plants are categorized on the app by easy, medium, and hard, as well as it provides kind of basic care information that you can follow. The key part of this app that's a differentiator from the other apps is that it provides the watering schedule for you. A lot of the other apps you need to manually say, This is my spider plant, remind me once a week, every 10 days, every 15 days to water it. Whereas Planta has these kind of set recommendations for each plant based on some of the things that you input, such as you can put in what it's planted in. Is it in terracotta? Is it in plastic? Is it still in the nursery pot? And you also enter your kind of general light situation. You say, hey, this is in the living room. It has a north-facing window. It gets partial sun, partial shade, and it will start recommending a watering schedule based on those data points. Obviously, like I said before, this is not a key thing that I personally stick to. I don't only follow this app and only water when this app tells me to. It's just a really good supplemental resource for it to ping me, send a push notification, a little reminder, hey, this plant might need water. I check it. A lot of the times it does, and a lot of the times it doesn't. I'll feel that the soil's still wet and I'll snooze it on the app, or if I do water it, I'll check it off on the app and it'll remind me in the next set time period. Nothing beats looking at your plants using a moisture meter, even putting your finger or a chopstick in the soil to tell if it's dry or if it needs water. Obviously, do that. But this again is to track, especially when you've got plants all over the place and you have weeks, days, whatever go by, and it's like, hey, check on that hanging plant that you never look at. I know you never look at it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll look at it, and it's right, I have to water it. I particularly like the graveyard section in this app. It's a little depressing, but you can put all of the plants that have died into this graveyard, and you can see kind of all the plants that have been in your care, and as well, if it comes back, you can move it back into a room and get notifications on it again. So that is kind of a nice little feature that I like. So note that the app is only free for the watering schedule component, not a fertilizing schedule or a misting schedule, although there are tips on when to fertilize, misting frequencies, things like that available. It just won't send you the notifications about it on the free version. Everything I mentioned though, about the watering schedules, the basic care information, the database is free. So it doesn't really feel like you're missing anything by having the free version. You can upgrade to the premium version. It is $35.99 for a yearly subscription, or I think $7.99 a month, and that premium version includes a light meter, a plant identifier, again, that fertilizing and misting scheduling, as well as pruning scheduling. I haven't paid for it, so I can't say if it's worth it, but someone on my TikTok did tell me that they got the paid version of this app and they wish they just stuck to the free version because they didn't feel that it had added much for them, and that there were a lot of other free apps that accomplished what that accomplished. So take that as you want to take it. A couple of my honorable mentions in this category of plant care and scheduling are Vera and Flourish. So Vera is easy to use with a really nice user interface. It's pretty cute. The downside is it requires a lot of manual entry. There's no list of plants for you to search through, and you have to enter this schedule you'd like to be reminded on your own. So if you have a large plant collection, like a lot of you I'm sure do, it can be pretty tedious to do that. It is a really lovely app if you want to just keep track of your plants, keep track of your collection, and set your own calendar of when you want to water your plants that you know is good for that plant. But it doesn't provide any care info if you are looking for that. And again, it can be pretty tedious. I kind of gave up after like 2 plants. I was like, I don't really want to enter anymore. I want to look at pictures and be like, yep, I have that, yep, I have that. So I liked how it looked, but it wasn't something that I was ready to transition all of my plants onto to do everything manually. Flourish is pretty similar. It's a little more robust than Vera because it does have a database of plants that you can search through. However, they didn't have that many plants. I tried searching a couple of my plants on the app, like my purple heart, and it didn't have it on there. It didn't have a lot of plants on there, so that's why I wasn't really feeling it. I did like that the app had a free light meter, which was pretty cool. And it has this cute quiz where you can determine where to put plants, as well as has some suggested plants for you and different recommendations for your room or your light situation. So that was nice. But in terms of the watering schedule, the database, and having a lot of plant information, Planta is the clear winner in this category. So moving on to my personal favorite, plant identification. I need a plant identification app. There are so many times where I'm like foraging for plants and get them, or I get them from someone else, or I get them from the store and there's no tag on them, or you know it's misidentified. And I just want to snap a picture of the plant and know exactly what it is so I can do more research. I'd searched for a plant IDing app for a long time. I've really tried them all. I mean, I tried them all before and I tried them all again for this video. I just want to know my plant's name. The best app I found for the plant identification category is PlantNet. I've been using it for some time to ID plants by picture, and it has been pretty consistent. It's not always accurate, but it really helps to get you in the ballpark. I use this app when I have absolutely no idea what my plant is called. I can snap a picture of it, put it into the app, and it gives you lots of search results of plants that look really similar to that you can sort through, search through the pictures and see if one of them really looks like your plant. And I also feel that you can get really close to the ballpark and kind of do additional research on top of that. Like, is there another variety of this plant? Is there another species, genus, whatever, of this plant because it looks really similar? Or you can say plants that look like whatever it suggests. But a lot of the time, within the first 3 results of the search, I'm like, oh, that's it. There's one there that I'm like, that's definitely the plant that I'm looking for. You can search by leaf, bark, flower, habitat, even region on PlantNet. So that's really cool if you think that something's native to a certain area, if you are out in nature one day and snap a cool plant that's out there, all of that. It's a completely free app with no limits. Most of the other plant identification apps like Plant ID, Plant Snap, Picture This are not actually free. They say they're free when you download them, but then you get a short free trial or a limited number of searches before you have to pay for a subscription or pay for the app, and I'm not about that. So I definitely recommend PlantNet. Give it a try, search a couple of things and see if it works for you. Moving on to the third category, I don't know how many of you have outdoor gardens. I live in New York City, so I would love to grow more out on my balcony now that it's getting warmer, but I don't have a garden. I did try a bunch of the gardening apps as well, and my top gardening app was called Seed to Spoon. This app is packed with information, more for gardening fruits, vegetables, herbs, that kind of thing, as opposed to houseplants. But there's actually a lot of helpful tips and information on there about pests, which y'all know I have. Y'all know we all have them inside. And there's also information about different fruit, vegetable, herb varieties, what to buy, where to plant them and grow them, what zones, as well as companion plants that you can buy, which is just interesting to learn about or to read more about if you want to start or if you have a garden yourself. All of this information is completely free without a login, but you can make an account if you want to track your own plants in your garden or to get information all the way to harvest about your plants. I did not make an account because I don't have a garden, but I definitely recommend it, and as soon as I do have a garden, I will be on this app like crazy. So those are my top 3 apps for those categories: Planta, PlantNet, and Seed to Spoon. But I want to give a quick shout out to some plant communities / social apps that I also thought were kind of cool. You can check out Grow It or Garden Answers, and those apps did have more of you post a picture and a community of people will help you ID it, or you post questions, etc. However, I thought they were okay, but I didn't think the community was as large as we have here on YouTube, on Facebook groups, which are crazy, on Instagram, which you can follow me at Succulent Cooking, or even TikTok. That has a crazy plant community and people will answer your questions. I'm at plant_mama. So Yeah, definitely try them if you're interested, but I think those social platforms have so many groups already that are just way more active. And I cannot leave this video without having my shit list of apps, which are apps that you think are free because they say that they're free in the App Store, but as soon as you download them, they ask you to subscribe or pay $40 a year or $40 a month or whatever it is. So my apps that you think are free but aren't free list is Blossom. Couldn't do anything on that app without subscribing. Picture This, Plant Snap, and Plant ID. I mentioned those. They will let you maybe do a free trial or 1 or 2 Snap ID pictures, but not free. You only can do those before subscribing, and I tried one and it wasn't even right, so I don't want to subscribe. Sorry, we're spending our money on plants, not apps. That's it for my top plant apps that every plant parent should use. Let me know if you use any of these apps already or if you give them a try, and let me know your experience and what you think about them. If you want more videos where I go into more detail about all the plant app options you have, like all the plant IDing apps, all the plant care apps, all the plant community apps, definitely let me know, because I'm not kidding, you guys saw my phone screen. I tried them all. I have them all downloaded on my phone. I was using all of them, and I have thoughts. I have thoughts on a lot of them. I'm angry about some of them. I thought some were pretty cool and interesting, didn't meet the criteria I was looking for with useful information. I'm definitely happy to share all my plant app reviews with you guys and my review criteria. Cuteness of the app was definitely critical for some of them, but there are some cute, interesting ones out there that I definitely feel like you guys could try. There were a lot of apps that I thought were interesting, like there was this app called Happy Plant where you take a photo of your plant every single time you water it and it compiles it into a video for you. So a little tedious, honestly, but I thought it was kind of interesting. So definitely let me know if you want more videos like this. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you have, I love you, you're the best. But don't forget to subscribe and keep up with me and my plant mama journey. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!